Hello and welcome to week 5 of Composition 1. Can't believe we're about at the third of the semester mark, so that's kind of crazy. I wanted to give you an update on what we are doing for week 5. So let us go through first recap week 4. Week 4, we had the wonderful essay, Consider the Lobster, and Don't Blame the Eater. So those are both good essays. I will be reading through those summaries and providing you some feedback on those. These summaries are the beginning of an important strategy for learning. We are figuring out how do we retain information, and in order to repeat that information to somebody else. So you're looking at what are the main points of this text that we read. And so just think of yourself telling your grandma, that's my favorite person, what this article is about. And to do so, you have to say what you're talking about, which is the title of the article, who wrote it, and the main context of what you took away from it. And we're looking at doing that in about 200 words. And it's hard for an essay like Consider the Lobster, a lot easier for Don't Blame the Eater. So hopefully this is coming along well with you, and I hope that you watched these Wallace videos because they're very, very interesting, and it gets you to think about things you might not have thought about before. And I really like stuff that does that. But on to week 5, what's going on? All right, so first of all, you will notice that I have updated week 6 as well. So these are both ready for you to start looking ahead. We are going to begin working on bigger pieces, more academic pieces. So these first few weeks I consider a warm-up. Let's look at writing. Let's get some practice writing. Let's stretch those writing muscles. Now in week 5, we're going to have some fun. So we're doing a restaurant review. It's a very short, quick, and easy one. We're only looking at about 500 words, and you know how to do a restaurant review. I will caution that for your own safety, not to go out to eat anywhere, just do the carry out. Those criteria are still valid when you're reviewing a restaurant. So we have some readings. First, read about this restaurant review, then read writing about text and drafting. These links will take you directly to the textbook. There is a discussion board, followed about a little draft for your restaurant review. This is kind of pre-writing that I want you to think about. And then we're also reading an article called 2 Years Are Better Than 4. And this is building up to the next major work we're working on, which is a critique. Criticism is an important part of being an academic, being a critical thinker. Builds up an analytical skills. So we might say, I don't like this. Criticism says, here's why it's not good. So that's a little bit different. The difference between opinion and making a claim. So you'll read this article, 2 Years Are Better Than 4, by Liz Addison. There's a 2-part discussion board for it. So by Sunday, I just want you to do this first part and also do a summary. That summary is going to be important later on. It's important to know that this article was written for a contest and that she's responding to a question asked in the essay, what's the matter, or what's wrong with college, I think it is. Yeah, what's the matter with college, by Rick Perlstein. And so I want you to think about the essay, how it stands by itself, and then once you've read it and completed the part 1, submit it, and then later on next week by Wednesday, I want you to complete part 2. You're going to be reading a completely different essay by Rick Perlstein, and you're going to start to consolidate your understanding of both. How do they work together? How does Addison's essay work as a response to Perlstein, but how does it work as a standalone piece for a scholarship contest? And then finally, links to some upcoming article or assignments. We have our restaurant review. To submit your restaurant review, you come right into here. So make sure you're looking at this. I have examples, and then this is where you submit your restaurant review through Turn It In. That'll be due Saturday night. I don't want you spending a lot of time on the restaurant review, and I don't want you spending a lot of money. If you just go get coffee, that is fine. If you just walk into the restaurant and look, right? You go to somebody who's buying something, that's fine. It's rude if they don't buy you anything, but go in and observe. You can write a restaurant review based on observations, and that is perfectly fine. It's a valid, but I don't want you spending money, especially if you don't have any. But go in and evaluate these things. There's lots of things that you can start to look at to evaluate what makes a good restaurant experience. So make sure you watch my video on the explanation. That'll be very helpful. So we have this entire beginning of the week to do it, so don't waste your time. Plan your time accordingly. Have a great week, and be sure to contact me with questions. Thank you.